Well, there's no way to say it. This week is going to open up with quite possibly the worst massacre of the war so far, and this war of northern aggression gets a little confusing when the Southerners decide to take raping and pillaging literally. Hello and welcome to Civil War in Hindsight. I'm Lieutenant Tommy. With me as always is Prospector Johnny, and it is a fucking shit week to start.
All right. Okay. Well, this is a change of tone. It feels like the last couple of weeks it's been kind of not much is going on, and now we've lost the war. You're telling me?
No, it's not lost the war.
Well,
this should give everybody new energy to fight the war if you're on the north, because what happens this week is look. We talk. Okay, has Morgan's Raiders came and raped and pillaged a little bit? Sure did. He murdered people.
Okay, well, just a little bit, and not so much in for sales. Let's give him a little bit of a credit where credit's due.
There was some murdering.
He saved the rich people.
There was some murdering. There was a little bit of raping. What's going to happen as this week begins on the 21st is a touch more than a little. So it's going to open up with a sacking of Lawrence, Kansas, which we say a war of northern aggression down in the South. They like to say that, a war of northern aggression. Well, this is an instance of 450 Confederate and Missouri guerrillas underneath William Quantrell. They're going to sack and burn the city. And by sack and burn the city, I mean they're going to fucking burn the city. They're going to spare the women and small children. And by spare the women and small children, I mean they don't kill them. I'll let your imagination run wild with what they actually do to them, but they don't kill them. They probably wish they were dead when things were done, but they don't kill them.
Death would have been a nicer escape, is what you're getting at?
Boys and men will be executed.
Oh.
There are a few men and boys that are able to escape the city before this happens, but for the most part, an entire city's gone. 150 to 200 men and boys are going to be killed during this raid, and it's going to cost the state of Kansas $1.5 million in damages because the whole city's been burned and fucking everybody's been murdered. So,
million?
Yeah, $1.5 million. Yeah.
What kind of money doesn't even exist these days?
You wouldn't think so, but.
So why?
Quantrell is essentially a criminal who's using the war as an excuse.
This isn't
it's not strategic. There's no strategic city. There's no nothing.
Quantrell
is mad about Union victories and goes off on a raiding spree.
Against civilians.
Yeah. Very few military personnel were in the city.
That's not how you do war.
No.
I think you're supposed to not do.
You know who hasn't fought the war like this yet? You know who hasn't fought the war like this? We haven't. The guys in blue.
Is it the North?
We haven't done this. We haven't gone to a city and burned it to the ground and murdered civilians. We haven't done that. Not yet.
Not yet.
We might now. I think I'm okay with it now.
You kind of opened up the whole playbook here.
But not yet. We've had Morgan's Raiders do their thing where they did this shit. Here's what we did on our raids. We had a couple of goofy guys go down in the South and steal a train. We stole a train.
Yeah.
Y'all are murdering civilians and raping women. Like this.
Yeah. And children, likely. I
was trying to not.
You think they spared the
No, I don't think they spared anything.
Girls
I think
because they wanted them to grow up into productive housewives.
On the other side of the country, though, Johnny, the federal forces demand the surrender and withdrawal from Fort Sumter and Battery Morris Island there, and Battery Wagner, Morris Island.
Okay.
The rebels are going to refuse. And they say, look, if you refuse, I'm going to start shooting Charleston, the city. And they said, I don't care. We're not going to.
Yeah, they clearly don't care about people.
So that shelling of the city, not the city, but the forts continue today. Also, a busy day for the Union forces. They're going to arrive on the outskirts of Chattanooga and decide to send a couple of cannon rounds into the city.
Just warning, just a little heads up. We're here.
Sure,
Or
we're here.
Just
Yeah.
we're bored and want to. Hey, let's see if we can kill some random folks.
They're shooting at military targets, but
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's.
as I said, the North doesn't rape and murder and civilians as we should shell their city. But hey, that's what you get. That's what you get.
I'm gonna doubt that they have heard about what was happening.
Sure.
When they decided to.
It's my narrative, Johnny, and I'm playing it. Leave me alone.
Okay, all right. Okay. So we're doing just white history then.
Yes.
I like it. We can say whatever we want. The war's over. We win.
Yay!
It's great. Slavery and racism is over. Don't
the
even
22nd
worry about it ever again.
On the 22nd,
I
Johnny,
like this.
it's
This is
the
nice. This is nice to be able to do this.
on the 22nd. It's the 6th day of shelling at Fort Sumter. There isn't much left of Fort Sumter. The Confederates only have 4 operational guns left.
Now, time to go to Chattanooga, right? Like, what are you doing at this point? You already threatened. They said they don't care. Fine, see if they don't care.
Yeah, Charles.
What do
Well, so
you're-
we
you're-
do that,
you're
Johnny.
bombarding rubble at this
Well,
point.
Johnny, we spare a few boats and we do actually start shelling
There we
Charleston.
go. All right,
As
thank
well,
you.
we do that. We
Gosh,
we follow through
get
with the
rid
warning.
of
We
those
said,
civilians.
yeah, we said we're going to do it, and they said, nah, we're doing it. So
We said bet.
bet, and we're shelling Charleston. So fuck all the culture and heritage that exists there. We used to see it first.
Sorry, Tommy.
This whole thing is your fault, South Carolina.
And Tommy, we don't have culture and heritage in the United
Was
States.
it South Carolina that seceded first?
Yes. Yeah, it was South. Yes.
Sure. Doesn't matter.
It was. No, that's the literal one thing in history.
History that you remember?
Yes.
That was South Carolina first?
South
Good job,
Carolina,
Johnny.
first state to secede.
I've
And Myrtle
been
Beach
drinking
is,
a lot. So.
it's a mix. It's fine. I don't know. It's the other thing I know about about South Carolina.
that's a little different. Anyways,
Kind of a tourist trap.
unfortunately, one of our large siege guns during this their siege is going to explode on the Union side. Not from any fire. It's just going to rupture. Apparently, when you build a 200-pound cannon, and that means the shell weighs 200 pounds, not the cannon.
How do you? I mean,
There's a limit
all
on how many times you can shoot that before the metal gets too weak. And that number is 36 rounds in a
How many
day.
people
36.
load it?
How
Is it
many?
just a-
Oh, you have to have cranes and shit. It's a process. Yeah.
I mean, it seems like you just get big, strong men, and it's a 2-person lift job.
No, you got to get that.
Right,
There's an art. Yeah, you got cranes and shit.
It's not just a ball.
No, it's a big.
Oh,
it's a
whole
big conic
missile
there's
type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. It's pretty big. It's a pretty big ground. On the 24th or 23rd, Johnny, federal forces are gonna give the forts a rest and not shell it as much on this day, which is no
nice.
big deal because Fort Sumter has one gun that works.
And what's there to shell? They're shelling.
At this point,
Piles
maybe
of
just
wood and
land
rock.
our troops on Fort Sumter. Just there's one cannon
right
left.
on in there.
Anyways. Unfortunately, though, with the good news of only one cannon left at Fort Sumter, the North is going to lose 2 gunboats in Missouri when they're captured by 60 Confederates that are on 4 small rowboats that are aided by 30 sharpshooters that are on the shores, and they're able to take over these 2 Union gunboats, which to me sounds like the sailors that were supposed to be on guard duty on those gunboats were asleep and not paying attention. Because how do you miss 4 gunboats filled with 60 dudes coming at you?
Well, rowboats,
Yeah,
first of all.
rowboats,
And
not
then
sailboats.
snipers on the side.
Yeah,
So, I don't know. You know what? I'm
might be
just gonna
okay.
say that's a pretty fucking clever trap by the Confederates is what I'm going to say.
they did their thing.
That's-
They got a couple of gunboats. Way to
That's
go,
good
your Navy.
stuff.
Your Navy now has 4 boats.
Yeah, you guys are right back
Sure.
in this naval
Right
battle.
back in it. Yep. Oh, the
You might
24th,
just
Johnny.
take the Mississippi back next. You stupid motherfuckers.
The 24th bombardments of the forts in Charleston are going to resume, although much lighter than the shellings that happened earlier, because we're shelling rubble. Like, there's fucking just it's
Nothing.
Just rubble.
That's what I'm saying. Why bother?
On the 25th, we're going to see Union forces getting closer to Little Rock in Arkansas with a skirmish near Brownsville. Union forces are going to attempt to take the first line of rifle pits in front of Battery Wagner, and they're going to again fail, like they did the last 3 times we tried that.
Shoot.
No. In response to Crontrell...
the same result?
Yeah, same result. In response to Crontrell's raiders, Federal Brigadier General Thomas Ewing, who's the commanding in that general area, he's going to issue General Order Number 11, which demands that all citizens in Jackson, Cass, and Bates County, Missouri, leave their homes. If they could prove their loyalty to the North, they're allowed to stay in military zones of designated areas. Like you have to leave your home still, but you can stay in this area. I have no idea. And then everybody else has to leave.
Oh, you know what? You know what they do?
Make them take an oath? Pledge allegiance?
No, you walk up there, and they're like, excuse me, sir or madam, I have a free slave for you.
That's good, yeah. Like and if they say, oh, hot damn.
And it's like, oh, yeah. And they're like, no, I'm not real comfortable with that. That's kind of, no, thank you. And then, okay, you're good. That's what
it's like the guy who gets into heaven is like, hey, look, listen, I want to let you in a little secret. Only white people are in heaven. And he goes, yeah. He goes, oh.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. Going down to hell. Oh, that was a test? Yeah, that was a test.
Yeah, to the bad place.
It's that one. Anyways, surprisingly, 20,000 citizens are displaced, and it does not stop the raiders in the area. Weird. I don't know why displacing a group of civilians would have not let civilians be mad at the people that were displacing them. That is odd.
How peculiar.
Federal forces are going to capture Confederate rifle pits in front of Fort Battery Wagner on the 26th. And Beauregard is going to confirm with President Davis, I'm going to hold the forts. I'm holding them. We got 1 cannon left. I'm still holding. I'm planning on holding. Don't worry. Stay to the last man. Which
is
might be coming soon.
Yeah, you're
it's getting there.
Close. You got 6 right now operating that cannon.
1 cannon, yeah, we're getting there. And Johnny, the week is going to end with Union forces slowing down their shelling of Charleston and its forts, but it's still going on and no end in sight. So, yay. That's it for this week in Civil War in Hindsight. If you enjoy Civil War in Hindsight, check out Historic Hindsight. We talk about some Civil War things like the Battle of Chickamauga and Chattanooga, but we also talk about non-Civil War things like the badass Irina who saved like 2,500 Jewish children from the Holocaust in Warsaw.